Hello and welcome to all you Cancerians. This is an extra. This is an extra video for each and every individual sign considering 2024. I already made a video of the yearly horoscopes where I have summarized almost, already the biggest things. But in this video, I want to get more towards the personal degrees of your sign. So if you have your sun, this is applicable when you have your sun in Cancer, your moon in Cancer, and the rising sign, the ascendant in Cancer. When it's your sun sign, it's going to be more your about your individuality, about the conscious part of your life, your work for many people, and your identity. When it's your moon in Cancer, it's more the place of living, your emotional relationships, the people who are important for you. And the ascendant in Cancer is everything because it's your life path. So I'm going to have a look at what is most important for who. And that gives a little bit more detail to it. So you can watch this video together with the yearly horoscopes and you're going to have a bit of a vaster kind of perspective. Okay, let's get started with the furthest planet away, because I'm going to look at the outer planets here. Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, and of course also a bit the more personal planets like Saturn and Jupiter. But let's have a start with the most challenging planet, which is Pluto. In your case, Pluto is it's going to be in Aquarius, which is going to be a whole different story for you, because it's going to enter your 8th house. But it's still going to be in Capricorn for a couple of months. And that is significant for some of you Cancerians, not all of you. Certainly not the ones who've got planets between 0 and 3, the first 10 degrees of Cancer. They're not going to feel that Pluto opposing their sun sign or moon sign or ascendant anymore, because they already had that energy. Okay, so this is a message a bit specifically more for those of you who've got planets at 28, 29 degrees of Cancer. So the very end of it, right? The very end of Cancer, you're going to feel Pluto still. So for some, it's a very small, it's 1/30 of Cancerian people that are going to feel this, theoretically, this Pluto in the 7th house, which is relationships, which is still some of you are going through a lot of transformation when it comes to your relationships. Some of you, and specifically, you know your story, the ones that are not working out well, the ones who are full of toxicity, the ones that you have to manipulate so much to get what you want, or they are manipulating you in order for them to get the most out of the relationship. You have an opportunity to cut this off, to stop this, to become more authentic, to become more you. And it's all what you believe in. If you don't believe in it, this is a chance that you're just, letting go, so to speak. But you've got that choice to take. And because Pluto is representing death. So for some of you, there is death in the relationship, so to speak. Of course, not literally, but I mean, there's no growth anymore. And so you're not surrendering to that energy. You're not surrendering to the novelty of life. You're not saying yes to life. You're sticking to something that is already dead, basically. Again, for some of you, this is a percentage of those people who've got planets there. So the more you surrender, the more you say yes to life, the more you say yes to your authentic self. And in relationships, that can mean indeed a breakup. That can mean also a new relationship for some of you. A relationship that is strongly triggering you, very intense, very lots of chemistry going on there, very charismatic platonic people that you're attracted. So with strong characters and in some sort of way have a lot of power, whether it is money, whether it is sexual power, whether it is power of knowledge of power, whatever. You are going to attract these people into your life so that you step out of the old self and step into the new version of you. So for some of you, yes, this means, if you're single, for instance, this is a very interesting energy, because you're going to attract someone in your life that's very powerful, and you're going to find your own power with that as well. So, but a lot of you Cancerians already had this energy in the last couple of years. So, but there's still a bit of a reminder of that. And that energy is at its peak in 2024 between September and November. Because Pluto is in your 8th house when it's in Aquarius. And that's another field. That is about the transformation of that 8th house, which is intimacy, which is also money. So for some of you, there are going to be changes in the money area, and particularly in the investments that you did with another person. Whether it is a business partner, your spouse, a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. So there could be a transformation of that, a stopping and a new beginning, or a shifting in the structure of it. On an emotional level, this is very emotional, Pluto in the 8th house, because it's tackling your fears and understanding them, what you are most. And this is the fear of rejection. This is the fear of rejection. This is the fear of intimacy. Why? Because Pluto in the 8th house shows that you are ready to be vulnerable, but you will have to risk, of course. So you are ready for true love, for deep love, for real love, for connecting on a real deep level, not on a superficial level. That's not with Pluto in your 8th house. But the price that you have to pay, of course, is your vulnerability, is that you have that possibility to be hurt, right? But it's a paradox. If you're not opening up yourself to, of course, not to everyone, but to one specific person, you're not going to connect so deeply. But if you're doing it, you might risk that you're going to get hurt. But Pluto is a transformation of like, look, I'm strong enough if that happens, because this is what life is all about, right? If you truly deeply love, there is that risk. And I'm going to live anyways. It's saying yes to life, basically. A lot of you in this chart for 2024 is about saying yes to life and taking also the consequences and being responsible for what it's gonna change in your life. So it's very, very deep. Neptune is in your 9th house. So for all of you Cancerians, this is nice. The 9th house, that's going to be there for the whole year. Neptune and Pisces, your 9th house is the house of travel. It's the house of learning, teaching. It's also the house of your belief system. There is more a tendency of opening up, of being more open for spiritual items, of being more open to learn, to have that open viewpoint. And that is a good thing. Because and if you believe in something that is bigger than you, you don't have to believe in God or just in nature, for instance. It's going to strengthen you emotionally. So that is fantastic. Jupiter and Uranus, those two planets, Uranus between January and May time, they are going to stick together, those two planets in Taurus. And it's in your 11th house. And Taurus and Cancer is a sextile, which means if you do a little bit of effort, there's good energy flow. That's in general. So that is going to stay there for sure. But Jupiter-Uranus, particularly around March, April, is an opportunity. And there's an opportunity in your 11th house, the house of friends, but also the house of your goals for the future. So you could, by networking, for instance, bump into someone who's going to help you with a project, who's going to help you with a goal that you have for the future. So a lot of support there of friends that you feel is very real. It could be a little bit strange because Uranus is after all, a very unusual planet. Right? They could be very different from you, but they are very real and they have your best interest. That is Jupiter and Uranus in your 11th house. And you could be having like a new goal coming up for 2024. Whatever it is, you're feeling supported. It is a bit out of the ordinary. So other people could say, who you don't know so well, could say, well, what the hell are you doing? But I would say do it anyways, because you have that beautiful energy here. Then Jupiter will be in Gemini from the 25th of May and the rest of the year. And that is going to be in your 12th house. So that is feeling support of the cosmos, basically, or other universes, or even people who have passed away. You know, the 12th house is like feeling that support of the realms that we do not see here. And Jupiter is a very positive energy. So you have that there. Also making faraway travels can be very good for you to relax and all of that. Saturn is also in your 9th house, but trining your energy. So a lot of you, depending on the degree, so this is between 3 degrees and 19 degrees of Cancer. So if you've got planets there, it's like a lot of Cancerians. It's like almost half of them. They are going to feel, certainly half of them, but they're going to feel support in the way that they look at life, the way that they think about life. So your mindset is going to be quite stable. And it's not going to be all over the place, but it's very, again, very open and empathic with that Neptune there. So all in all, it's an interesting year. For some of you, it's still a bit of a challenge because of that Pluto there on the relationship level. But for others, there are more and more experiencing now that new goals for life and that new depths of life on a way of connecting. And after all, that's what Cancerians are all about here. They are here to feel, right? You are a sign that needs to feel. And you get a lot of support in 2024 in general of those planets, particularly Neptune and Saturn. So have your best year ever, dear Cancerians, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.